That meant everything from MGAs to Porsche 917s, and drivers like young professionals through to retired world champion Phil Hill on a very rare race outing. But these were serious race cars going to race very hard for 1 hour in front of an enthralled crowd. And as the green light shows, Lola T70s, Ferrari 512s, the Ligier with the Cosworth engine, Ford GT40s, Chevrons, Porsche 917s and Cobras, all mixing it in together in a great wall of noise, and a different sort of noise to the modern race cars. Blasts across the line, Hales trying very hard in pop star Nick Mason's Ferrari 512S, an extremely rare car. In their day, of course, the cars did not take this right-left section, only installed in the year 2002 to slow the cars down before they come to the Mulsanne straight. But this section's the same as it always was, with the Ferrari just in front of the Ligier and the 2 Lola T70s as they blast onto the Mulsanne straight, with a problem there. One of the GT40s nearly caught out. Down from Indianapolis to Arnage, Willie Green extremely brave there in the yellow and green Ligier Cosworth, right up behind Mark Hales' tail. That 512S is a 1970 car, Willie Green's car from 1971, but side by side this is proper spectacular racing, as these two well-known exponents of historic motorsport happy to put these incredibly valuable machines side by side through one of the fastest sections of one of the most daunting racetracks in the world. These cars, of course, run in every condition as they did in their day. The tyres are new, but they're not meant to be of any newer compound than was current in its day. Hales just a little quicker there through that section than Green, closing him down, but sadly troubled early on. Phil Hill's car, the little Alfa Romeo number 88, was not to last very long. Side by side again, the Ligier and the Ferrari blasting away. Hales checking his mirror, seeing if it's safe to move over, and it is. He's just got his nose in front. Whilst the 2 Lola T70s of Schleifer and Jones battle it out. Here's a great sight. Jackie Oliver, winner of this race in 1969, jumps into the car he drove in those days, a Gulf Ford GT40, to return to the track. A similarly Gulf liveried Chevron B16, however, embedded in the gravel. Mark Hales and Willie Green still hard at it. These cars being pushed to their absolute limits, to the enthrallment of the spectators. Cars of all sizes. A Lotus 11 here, and an elegant little Alpine Renault from 1968, but sadly Schleifer's Lola T70 has terminal engine troubles. And Mark Hales, also unhappy, levers himself out of the car before his co-driver has a chance to take over. Problems with the Ferrari's gearbox means an end of an impressive run. The little Chevron did get out of the gravel and is now battling with the GT40, coming into the first chicane on the Mulsanne straight. In the pits, Willie Green in the Ligier has to make his compulsory stop. And there's Mark Hales, now retired, leaning across to tell Willie Green to slow down. Not everybody running as reliably as that, however. Unfortunately, the Sunbeam Tiger, one of the actual ex-works cars, overheated badly, and a huge slide there for the Jones Amy Lola T70. Car number 2, a terrifying moment, but he's collected it all up and carries on his way. Not so, however, former winner Jackie Oliver, who plants car number 4, GT40, in the gravel on the outside at the beginning of the start-finish straight. Very embarrassing. Craig Jones and Nick Amy in their blue and silver T70 making a great recovery, but Willie Green leading effortlessly and lapping a beautiful selection of cars down through the field. Some people getting a little overexcited there. That's Chris Clarkson and Bob Pepper in their Austin Healey 3000, backing it into the gravel, but no harm done. A quick "what are you doing" wave from the man in the MGA. Willie Green by this stage, as the pace cars got ready to signal the end of the race, Green beginning to think that he didn't have any opposition. But what he didn't know was that Michel Quigneau and Steve Hitchens in their little red and white Chevron B16 were closing extremely fast. And he suddenly looks in his mirror, sees them turn their headlights on and thinks, I better get a move on here. Just manages to outbrake them into the final chicane and slips up towards the start-finish line. A very chastened Willie Green, so nearly caught right on the line. Checkered flag out to tremendous applause. Willie Green, of course, deserved the win, but he was very nearly jumped at the finish. Good third place for Jones and Amy, and David Piper heroically fourth by himself in his 917. And so to the main event. The 24 Hours of Le Mans, only a few hours away. It's been raining this morning. All the drivers have lined up for their class of 2003 shot. The drivers are presented to the crowd in a succession of old cars. The Courage Peugeot boys egging them on. And following Audi's 3 wins in a row, the former Le Mans 24-hour trophy is now firmly on the boardroom wall at Audi. That's the new trophy for the winner this year. As ever, a welcome interlude from the Hawaiian Tropic girls. JJ Leto making some last-minute arrangements with his mechanics. Jan Magnussen gets ready. It's going to be warm inside that Panoz. 1 or 2 last-minute decisions on the grid this year about whether that rain was going to return, but in the end, everyone's opted for dry tyres. The starting driver lineup headed by Rinaldo Capello from Johnny Herbert, Frank Biela, Jan Lammers, Jan Magnussen, JJ Leto, Mark Goosens in the Riley and Scott, Gumindi in the Little Dome Judd, and Jonathan Cochet very quick in the Courage Judd, just in front of Olivier Beretta in the first of the Penozes. Some good performances down this grid here, particularly in 15th place from the DBA Zytek and the Lola MG just behind, there from the 675 class, and joined as they are by the Courage. Ferrari's quick in GTS, as we know. The balance of the 675 class mixed in with these quick GTS cars. And further down the grid, it's the GT Porsches, quicker largely than all the Ferrari 360 Modenas, the TVRs, the Spiker. And right at the very back, 1 or 2 cars who'd had problems in qualifying, including the Norma and the WR. Only 49 cars on the grid, of course, because the Lister was withdrawn after that practice accident. So, a great race in prospect. 1 minute to go on Saturday afternoon, and Monsieur Poissonneau gets his flag ready to set everyone off on the final warm-up lap. And warm it is inside the cars and out on the track. The sun's been shining all day after heavy rain first thing in the morning. It's going to be a hot start to the 24 Hours of Le Mans 2003. Behind the Chevrolet Corvette pace car, the Bentleys in first and second position, followed by the private Audis and Jan Lammers' Dome looking to make an early impression in the opening laps. A long way up the grid, the GTS Ferraris and Corvettes, and an early problem for the number 25 WR. As they come down towards Indianapolis, everybody weaving to warm their tires up. It was a good performance by the Riley and Scott, which qualified 7th. The 675 cars here mixed in among the GTS class cars as the pace car brings them round to the beginning of the 2003 Le Mans 24 Hours. Any moment now, he'll be away. There he goes, and the flag to be dropped by Dr. Don Panoz from the United States, a huge French tricolor, as the cars accelerate across the line for the first time, with Lammers' black and white checkered Dome Judd, as expected, jostling for position with the 3 privateer Audis. Down into the new S's for the first time, the Bentleys are smoothly pulling away a couple of 100 metres immediately from the Domes and the Audis, and out onto the long, intimidating Mulsanne Straight for the first time. Pro drives Ferraris. just in front of the two Chevrolet Corvettes as the field comes down to the first